morning and welcome to dark and cloudy, overcast Winnipeg. Here it is about 8 minutes to 8 and it's still dark outside. And there must be heavy overcast out there. We are definitely not going to have a pretty sunrise to look at. No. Now, what I was thinking last night after I was all through here is that this part here, the only thing that we got to paint on it is probably where the barrels are going to stick out of the shell of the turret. So what I was thinking of doing is, getting all of these assembled the way they are. Just maybe take a brush and paint the barrels. So I was thinking that I don't know. It could be on the real Iowa back in the 40s that the barrels were painted the same color as the superstructure. Could be, in other words, battleship gray. But I kind of like the idea that they sort of stand out because, well, as you know, I'm not real big into being 100% authentic. In other words, I'm not a rivet counter that way. So I'm just thinking that maybe to make it look better, I could have the barrels a little bit darker. I don't think black is the way to go. But maybe something like the 66 or maybe even the 77. That would sort of offset it from the 19. And that's my thinking right now. Anyway, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up. We got 4 or 5 little pieces here that we have to glue onto the shell, and then the shells can be mounted onto rotating blocks and just one after the other spray them. I'm going to spray the shell because I don't want to be losing detail. And then I think what I'll do is after the shell is sprayed, I will put the there has to be a little ladder go up. It's an N, what is it here? Photo etch E4. Is there one on both sides? It looks like there's one goes on both sides. So I think the time to put those on is after the shell is painted, and that way I can paint the ladders, the NATO black or something, so that they really stand out. And then I'll use the flat clear method again for gluing them on. That works really well in most instances. Let's sort of recompose here and sort of finish off this turret, and then being as I have another 9 turrets to do off camera. I know I keep saying this at the beginning of a lot of episodes, that this episode might be short. Well, this episode might be short. So, we'll just see how it goes. We'll play it by ear here. I was able to get out on the e-bike yesterday. Yesterday afternoon, it just warmed right up. It got to about 25 degrees, and maybe even warmer, because when I went out, I was just in my shirt sleeves on my e-bike, and I was out for quite a while. I didn't get cold. It was, that's the way it is here in Winnipeg in October. It can be really cold, or we can have what seems to be the warmest day of the year. It seems to be about 2 years ago in October, about the middle of October, we had and I said to my neighbor, I said, I think this is the warmest day of the year. I remember it was really nice. Okay, enough about the weather. Let's recompose here and stick our macro lens on, and good old macro lens. I said this before, but this macro lens has brought us so much, I was going to say pleasure, but I don't know if pleasure is the right word, but enjoyment anyway. We've been able to just get right in. And for those of you that don't know, this thing here is what I use almost every time for quick focusing, so that I can get the camera just adjusted just right. I use this piece of wood here, and then I do the fine adjustment later. And generally with this lens, when I adjust it for its absolute closest focusing distance, and then I focus the fine focus by moving the camera or sometimes the subject closer or further away. That's how I fine focus. And when the lens is opened right up, even just a millimeter's adjustment will affect the focus. And then I stop it right down as far as it'll go to give it better depth of field, even though I lose slight sharpness on the pin where it's focused on. Anyway, we don't need to be wasting a lot of time giving a lesson in photography here. I think that probably most of you do not want to go to the added expense of getting a lens like this, and I can really understand it. And as far as the super macro goes, it's basically a waste of money. It is good. It does get in 5 times closer, but it's as critical in focusing as a microscope. So my advice is don't get one of those super macros like I got, which is for those of you that don't know. Okay, this is the super macro. It focuses in. See if I can get it to go here. The lens cap wants to come off. Okay, when it's like this, it goes to 5 to 1 instead of 1 to 1. In other words, it'll make the image 5 times larger on your sensor. But the focusing is so critical, and the depth of field is practically non-existent. So would I get it again at this stage in my life? Probably not. I'm not sorry that I bought it. I do occasionally use it, but maybe for the fun of it, in this episode, we'll after we get a little part on, we'll zoom in on the little part. But anyway, and I've got my high-tech camera bag going on here. Actually, I kind of like these little sandwich bags because they keep the dust off. Okay, maybe I'll leave this out so that I'll see it and I'll be reminded to use it later, just for the fun of it. In the meantime, let's recompose here and finish our little turret shell. All right. A bit of time has passed here. And basically all I've done is I've mounted our turret shell onto the center of a rotating platform. The reason being is so that later when I stick the macro lens on, I can zoom right in at this spot, and then no matter which way I turn it, it should stay in the field of view and in perfect focus. Now, let me zoom in a little bit here. You know, the idea is that this is supposed to go on here. I wonder if I could do it maybe better with my fingers. It's so small I can hardly get a hold of it. Okay, I'm going to put the macro lens on, and we'll move in right here. Okay, that should be pretty close actually. All right, we'll rearrange our lighting here so that we can see it a little brighter and see what we can do. Okay, maybe I'll have a little better control here if I use Tony's tweezers. And we're going to want to turn this around. I wonder if I would be maybe better off getting it sticky with some little bit of glue on there, because it's gonna keep wanting to fall off. I'm pretty sure. Maybe if I was to grab it in like this, is there going to be enough clearance then to get this? Keep dropping it. Must be very frustrating for you to watch when I keep dropping stuff like that. I think it wants to go. I'm going to try again holding it with my fingers. It is so small that it just kind of spits out. There. Now let's just take some extra thin here and just put it on there and just let it go underneath and then sort of slide it around in place. Okay. I'm pretty sure I got it. That looks good to me. Okay, now here's why I wanted it on the rotator. Alright, let's let that dry. Before it had a chance to dry, and it's still pretty sticky, I moved our little box here back this way, approximately 1/2 millimeter. And the reason being, like you can see, it sort of sticks back over the edge there. And if you'll notice, there seems to be a little spot there where this hydraulic cylinder is supposed to fit into. So I believe it's supposed to go like on this little part right here. Then there's another one, and then it's supposed to somehow fit in that little notch that I'm just trying to touch right now. And then the idea is, of course, when the hydraulic cylinder contracts, it would pull this thing open. At least I'm pretty sure there'd be like a hinge right here where I'm touching, on the real thing, of course. Okay, let's just wait a few minutes here and let it continue to dry. Okay, now please do not go pinging off into the carpet. Alright, now we gotta get it. Okay, I think it has to turn around 180 degrees. I want this part that I'm touching right now to be in that little slot, or as believably as possible in that little slot. So all right, now that's actually pretty good. Now let's take some extra thin here. See if we can get it to just drop on there without moving anything, that is. Maybe I'll bring it in from the top there, like that. And then in from the back. There. Now that should meld into place. It's not going to be real strong, but if I don't catch it on something, let's just take advantage of our turnaround machine here. Okay, let's move on. Okay, this is our number 16. And you can see that Trumpeter has done a pretty good job here of making a very, very small keyed peg. And of course the idea is, I don't know if I can do this carefully on camera now, but the idea is we want to turn this over and have it go. Let's see here, how is this supposed to go? Well, let's just put it on and twist it around until it's right. It should kind of lock into place, although I'm noticing that that hole in the part seems to be a lot larger than the peg. So I'm guessing that it would possibly be possible to get it on wrong. Now we gotta turn it around here. Yeah, I think it's supposed to go. Oh, well, at least it didn't go on the floor. Like that. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's the way it's supposed to go. Now let's get some extra thin. I don't think we need any more. And maybe we can just moosh it around just a little bit here. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's the way it's supposed to go. Okay, here we go again, this time on the other side. And these are our 17s. May as well do the one that's furthest away from me first. Okay. I'm wondering, did I get that on wrong or something? It doesn't seem to want to go down, does it? Okay, well, I got plenty on that one. Oh, I remember. One of these had a little bit of flashing sticking out of it. I remember yesterday or day before I said something about that'll probably meld into sprue goo or something, which is exactly what it's doing. Okay, do they look like this one looks like it should be angled a little bit. I believe that this facing of it should be at the same plane as the front of the turret. Like that. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, let's let that dry. Now, I think we should put everything in perspective here. Well, crazy Missy, she's outside my door again. I've already given her 2 treats, and She knows if she stands out there and barks. Sometimes I come out. But I don't want to spoil her. I'll wait till later on today. Maybe this evening when she comes out for her evening tinkle. Okay, now I'm going to call her quits for today. I'm going to do the other 9 off camera. We'll see what happens. They should actually go pretty fast. I think I'll do it sort of in mass production. And yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Oh, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I got a coffee visitor, so I gotta call her quits, kind of early anyway. So today is Monday. Excuse me. And yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're gonna see you tomorrow.